with no expectation that BGI is going to keep any of it for their own data resource capability. So,
Right.
they're essentially a very large contract laboratory. Plus, they have their own research programs, obviously, in a bunch of other areas as well.
Right.
But in the case of the bulk of their human stuff, it's done as a service.
Right.
In terms of genomics, WuXi has a couple of pieces that are interesting, both NextCode and DNA Nexus, which are more platform and analytics oriented. And the difficulty that I've seen over the years is that there really is not a a clear value prop to having an analytics platform, since most of it goes to academic researchers, all of whom will want it for free, and none of whom will pay for it. And so from that perspective, the platform per se is not necessarily a significant revenue opportunity. And that's been true across the board with all the different platforms that have been created.
Right.
That said, DNA Nexus is one of the more common ones that people are building around, at which point you can become the de facto leader in the space, although again a de facto leader in a space where everything is free.
Right, right. Well, I think, so my understanding is that they have, they expect to have more partnerships with pharmaceutical companies, because they will be able to access, if they have access to this platform, and then they have access, so they have access to all of the knowledge base that WuXi Nextel can give them through the platform. They also have the application of artificial intelligence to help do within a matter of minutes or perhaps hours the kind of work that would take weeks or perhaps months to figure out when kind of trying to I guess gauge to figure out what direction they should be looking at, which pieces of the genome should they be looking at as they're trying to figure out ways to treat rare diseases, whether they're rare diseases or common diseases. So the message I was getting from them was they offer the most comprehensive and the most efficient way to figure out how R&D resources should be allocated, and how to run testing more quickly. So it's those partnerships that will give them the. I'm assuming when they enter into partnerships with pharmaceutical companies, they get money from pharmaceutical companies to use the platform. So does that make sense that if you're looking at a business model that looks like that they are a front runner? They also, by the way, they claim that there's no one else that has a platform like they have. That no one else has this genomically ordered rational database, so that they really don't have. They don't consider themselves to have any competition. So yes, I understand what you're saying about how researchers are not going to want to. They want the tool, but they're not going to be paying. But on the other hand, you've got pharmaceutical companies that will. And also you have this growth in the B2C market in China, which they expect to account for, by 2020, they expect that to account for 60 to 65% of their revenue, which would be up from 20% now. So that's how they're expecting to monetize the operation. Does any of that make sense?
Well, I think that it's a mixed presentation. You're aware of 23andMe, which is one of the big genomics companies, came out of Iceland, had anticipated doing that same thing, went direct to consumer and failed, and now it has gone back to its roots of trying to pitch their data resource to pharmaceutical companies as a novel resource that essentially can allow you to do exactly what WuXi just said. So in terms of being able to generate significant revenues from the consumer market in China, that's very aspirational, and I've been arguing for the last several years that approach is highly problematic, because if you or I got our sequencing done today, and they gave you back the data that said, okay, here's the results of our genomic sequencing or exome sequencing or whatever type of of genomic analysis one might